The focus of this segment is languages. Canada is home to a very diverse group of Aboriginal people. There are a number of major language families broken up into even further a whole bunch of different dialects. In British Columbia here, for example, we see that there are 7 major language families broken up into over 30 dialects. Definitely one of the more diverse provinces in terms of Aboriginal people. So what's important about languages? How does it impact your ability to work effectively with Aboriginal people? Well, the answer is that each of those languages are quite different from one another. If somebody from the Athabascan family were to try to speak to somebody that spoke Waikishan, it'd be like somebody who spoke Spanish trying to speak to somebody that spoke Japanese. And when you look behind each of the major language families, you see completely different religious views, political organizations, educational systems, social structures. Everything is going to be different behind each of those major language families. Put another way, culturally maybe, we don't all have dream catchers, we didn't all do smudges or sweps or powwows or spirit dancing or potlatching. We didn't all live in big houses or teepees or other kinds of structures. All of those things are going to be different behind each of the major language families or behind each of the different cultures, including this ability to not even be able to communicate. So what does it mean for those trying to work effectively with Aboriginal people? Basically it means there can be no blanket solution to whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. What works in one place won't necessarily work in another. How you get decisions in one place won't be how you get them in another. Who makes decisions won't be who makes them in another. And all of that stuff starts to change. So again, not really much in the way of a blanket solution. Put another way, take any subject, any issue, and I will show you an opposite and opposing view. And whaling, you'll find some tribes are wanting to whale and others don't want to whale, and many would be just indifferent to it altogether. So that's what we mean by that cultural diversity. It really does impact. One of the toughest questions I get asked is, Bob, what do they want? Just tell me what they want, and that can help me make some decisions. And all I can say for you within this cultural diversity context is that really the only way to find out what they want is to go and ask them. And out of all of these different language families, you're going to find different responses for everything you could possibly think of. So I know it doesn't make your life much easier, but put it another way, we want you, when you're working with Aboriginal peoples, to put on your international trading hat. And remember, it's a lot like going to another country in the world where you're going to have to figure out what the values, preferences, wants, needs, and aspirations are. And in order to be successful in working with communities on a community by community basis. So that cultural diversity, very important to understand some of those key principles. We have our own autonomy. We don't all want the same things. We can form coalitions and work together. Other times we're quite happy to not work with other Aboriginal communities because it doesn't meet our interests. So keep that in mind as you're traveling from community to community. Just remember to change your thinking every time you go. What worked in one place might not necessarily work in the other.